Hello and welcome to the Sons of Thule. Today we're going to go over my Shaman setup that I've been running just to answer a few questions I've gotten about him. So here we are, we're in Plane of Knowledge right now, just because it's one of the easier places just to do things. So first things first, I'm running a major heal, I guess. I have the ancient version on this character, which comes from I think the Anguish raid, and then I have the group heal over time, a heal over time, single target version. I have 3 dots. I have the disease, the poison, and the curse. Then I have Panther, which is the ADPS proc buff that you can give to people, and Champion for Avatar, and Lingering Sloth. So these are pretty much my, combat buffs, and I have separate macros for each of these to kind of change the behavior, right? If the mobs have a lot of hit points, I switch to dots, and then I use this macro here. It's just assist main, so it'll assist my tank. It'll wait for 3.5 seconds to cast after it casts this number 4, which is breath, which is. It's a 3-second cast, but you have to account for like the spell reset and all that. So 3.5 seems to be the best for me. I'm able to cast all 3 of these at once. And then I also have use pants. I have it doesn't stack with number 4, but I do have the Plane of Time pants, which do cast the disease. So you could, if you wanted to save a spell slot, you could actually take out number 4 if you have the pants and just do that instead. I'm still experimenting with that to see which one I want to go with. I kind of prefer the extra damage, but then the mana consumption is kind of a thing. I also have a nuke one. So where is my nuke? Doesn't look like my nuke is memorized right now, so let's switch that in. So I have Ice Age is the nuke I use. It works okay. I mean, it's on mobs that have a little bit of hit points. I just do this and just let the pet attack and just nuke as much as I can. I usually put that in my 2 slot for spam, and I put my dots in 5 for the longer time, and I don't hit 5 very often, kind of thing. So it just depends on what you're doing, and I could probably leave it like this and just change this number 4 to the pants, and I could seamlessly do it. Something I'm experimenting with there, but then the major reason to use the Shaman over like a cleric is the ADPS and the slow. You can see here I don't have slow memorized, but I do have times antithesis, which is a right-click slow item, which I have here macroed in my slow macro, which is use item 34, so bag 12. So the last bag is 12, is 34, and then slot 7. Pretty easy to figure out that. The pants would be slot 8 in bag 34, and then that just slows the target. Saves a spell slot until I think it's like level 80 we get the AA version, then we'll use that instead. So that's the slow. My pet attack is assist main. I put assist main on everything. I probably could get away with it if I had more of a constant spam, but it's kind of the thing. So I do pet attack, so the wolf will attack. I alt activate 177, which is the swarm pet, and then I also have a pet swarm attack. This will just tell all the swarm pets to attack whatever my target is. So if I switch targets after casting that, they should switch to it also. So here's the bread and butter right here. This is my ADPS macro. So I'm currently 71. I'm making this for level 70. At 71, we get the group version of Panther. So this macro is obsolete for me at this point. But what I do is I target my first character. Let's go ahead and cast it right. So it targets the first character. My tank waits for 4.5 seconds. Targets my bard, which then waits for half a second, cast that on her. So they both have Panther now. And it should have cast Champion also. So Champion immediately after that. So everybody should have that. So she has, does she not get it? So Panther. And then must be a timing issue right now. Let's make this 55. Yeah, so you gotta tweak these. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I have to tweak them all the time to increase the times just a little bit. Like for some reason that one's just not casting right now. I don't know why. All right, I have no idea. This is the weirdest thing ever. Like, look, I'm casting 7 on him, and if I go over here, I can't cast anything on her at all. Oh, she's not in the group. That's why. There we go. So they have to be in the group for Panther to work. That is why that wasn't working. There we go. Let's go back to the Shaman here. So there we go. Panther on him, and then it'll target her. And I would have saw that if I had this one open. Panther on her, and then it does Avatar. So it's a pretty simple macro for the most part. It's obsolete now at 71 since I have the group version, but that's what I do. And then I have a sloth macro. A sloth is it's like a 5-minute buff that will slow mobs that hit you. It's not as good as a normal slow, but it works in a pinch, right? So if you do, I have it bound to 8 here. I just cast it on my tank, and I can forget about it. And where's he at? He's right here. So you can see Lingering Sloth right here. It's a 7-minute now that I have a little bit more AAs and stuff. So it has a little bit of a duration, so it lasts for 240 charges or 7 minutes. So that's a good spell. It makes it so I don't have to slow every mob I run into, but I only slow like names and stuff like that for the most part at this point. That's that. And let's see here, those, and then my healing macros. So I have a target heal, and I'll cast the big heal on them. So like I have it bound to shift numpad 1, which then we'll just cast a big spell on him. I need to set up macros for the heal over time, but I do have the group heal over time on my 4, so he'll just cast that like so, and then everybody gets a heal over time. And if I have to, I can manually cast the normal heal over time on a single target if stuff gets really bad. Then I have a kind of a oh crap button where it calls all the different buffs. Call of the Ancients. Let's see here. Call of the Ancients is this one, which activates a stationary ward, which starts AoE healing everybody. I don't have it fully updated yet, but eventually it will, and it'll get pretty strong. And then I have another heal over time AoE that also increases strength and other stats. And then I'm probably going to add some more of these things in here. Like I have Rabid Bear for if I'm meleeing and I want to do a little bit extra damage. Let's see here. This is Call of the Wild. That will resurrect people back without giving them experience, though. Ancestral Guard. I think this is the this is the melee reduction buff for the Shaman. So if he's getting beat on, he can click that. And let's see, everything down here is just standard AA stuff. But yeah, and here I have, so if I go here and I go load spells, I have all my buffs. These are all the buffs I had at level 70. There might be some new ones I got. But I put all my buffs on one spell bar, and that really makes things a lot easier for buffing everybody up. I usually buff them, whenever I need to. I don't, if I lose one of these, I don't really worry about having to rebuff everything or rebuffing that one. It's just every few hours I rebuff them. And it's just a matter of Guunshi and then just going down the line, clicking them real fast. I wish I could do longer in-game macros to be able to just like tell it, hey, cast all these spells, but That's not possible. And then I pretty much do all the Shaman buffs. So I have Sense, Fortitude, Perseverance, which is regen. The haste buff here, we're almost to the point I don't need that anymore, but I still cast it right now. I think it's 75. I think it's 75 or 80. I get a AoE or AE version. And then I have Shrink in here for now. The Spirit of Wolf upgrade that gives attack, I always do that one, and I make sure I do all of these, right? Because all of these stat buffs, they went from like stat buffs, they kind of help your strength, but at this point, like everybody's like capped, right? If we look at my stats, even as a shaman, I'm capped on every single stat up until where my AAs will let me go. I can get more planar power and stuff like that, but that's where I'm at. But these also, like, so this one here increases your damage. Fortitude increases your stamina, and I think it increases the soft cap on that one too. Sense increases your ability to dodge for a little while, and this is just a 70 point heal over time. Regen, so it's really nice. Yeah, but those are all the buffs I cast, and I try to keep them up as much as possible, but I'm too lazy to actually re-switch them all over and just do one buff. So it's just a matter of what I need at the time. My Shadow Knight is buff capped at the moment, so if I cast all the Shaman buffs and I cast all his buffs, he pretty much gets to the buff cap with just those for his level. And then sometimes I can't get the Bard run speed buff, the Cella's Accelerating Chorus, which is really awesome. But let's see here. What else? Is there anything else I'm missing? Don't have anything else in my bag of interest. Yeah, this is from Plane of Time. That's from Plane of Time. This is all my next level gear. But typically I do nukes on this guy for the most part. The Shadow Knight doesn't really need as much healing. I do run a healer merc on the Shaman, which I could probably switch it out, but I am what you would call lazy. I'm very lazy, so it's one of those things where I just let the healer merc do all the healing. He also does cleric buffs too, so everybody gets, I think it's credence right now. Yeah, everybody gets credence and stuff, so it kind of has a nice synergy with the group, right? Because I can cast focus, and then he can cast all the cleric stuff, and just works out really well. But that's kind of my setup. I've shown a lot of gameplay already. I'm gonna skip a gameplay for this video, but in the coming episodes, you'll see all this in action. Just how everything kind of works together. And I do switch out these two right here. I just swap them in as I need them, right? On as I said, for high HP named mobs, I use dots. On trash and stuff like that, I use just nukes and stuff like that. Just depends on what how I want to handle that. But yeah, that is my Shaman setup for level 70. It's going to change at 75 a little bit, and I'll probably do an update video then. But thank you very much for watching, and have a fantastic day.